Tim McAuliffe alongside Jesse Rubinoff and Nick Kypreos in studios. We continue to unpack the trade deadline. The Winnipeg Jets had Vlad Namestnikov today, and of course Nino Niederreiter last weekend. Their executive vice president and general manager Kevin Cheveldayoff joins us now. Kevin, thanks for doing this.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, guys.
A bit of a crazy week here. Like, did it make it easier, harder, about the same? How did it feel for the GM who probably didn't get a ton of sleep here?
Well, it has been an interesting time. Usually it is more of a deadline type of thing, but this year it's kind of been maybe a 2-week sprint, leading to the deadline, and it's an interesting thing because managing your roster before the deadline, you're constrained with 23-man rosters and different things like that. So sometimes you get a little nervous and wondering, are you going to have a roster spot available when you're able to consummate a trade or different things like that. So, there's lots of balls in the air all the time, lots of moving parts, but it has been an interesting time.
Did the last 6 or so games change your outlook on this deadline for your team?
No, not really. For me, it's about, kind of finding the right fit. Obviously, we weren't looking at any centers, for in the marketplace with Scheif, PL, and Adam Lowry. We feel we've got real deep there. So that aspect of things wasn't there. Obviously didn't like to see Cole Perfetti, the injury there go down. That is something that you just don't replace a young up and coming player like that. But we were excited to get a player like Nino that is kind of a shoot first type of guy, big body. That below the hash marks, go to the net. He's one of those guys that bullies his way through and will shoot a puck, and perennial 20+ goal scorer. So that when that came available, and it wasn't necessarily on our radar, so to speak. We didn't know what Nashville was going to do. We were fortunate to be able to jump on that quick, and then Vladdy coming available last night. Was the kind of Swiss Army kind of nice guy that we were looking for. Obviously PL's out tonight, I think, in Edmonton. Vladdy would have been a guy that, kind of slides right in. He can slide all over your lineup. Played for Bones last year. So, those were the type of things that, we felt, would help us and fortunate to be able to get done.
Hey, Chevy, Nick Kypreos here. When it comes to the trade deadline, today's trade deadline, is it more of a sense that you're really painted into a corner when you're dealing with a flat cap and money in, money out? We all know your situation here with some of your star players and the contract scenarios in the next 6 months, 12 months, 18 months. Is the summer a better opportunity for you to have a broader look on the future of the hockey club, to look at who stays or who goes, or getting some fresh faces in?
Again, the deadline for us, we really haven't spent much time thinking about that aspect of things. For us, the deadline, it was all about, this year's team and trying to, acquire the pieces that we think would fit, and again, having the assets of being able to do it as well, and having the availability of the opportunity to get those kind of players too. So, for us, our focus has, been singularly about, this group and here and now.
You speak about the ability to get those kind of players, and I don't know if it's a percentage or an explanation, but I know a lot of people in your market, a lot of fans of your team are trying to balance, what's coming up in the UFA market from your team in the next year and a half versus what you're trying to do right now, which is win hockey games. When you head into a year or a deadline, what's that percentage? What's that delicate balance between pushing now and making sure that you're covered when you move forward?
Well, I think the balance is more so, again, can you find the right fit? Is there the right opportunity to acquire that player? And, again, sometimes, the perception out there doesn't necessarily mean reality. And I think that, obviously we're in a social media world where, you guys cover your ears. I think you guys make some things up at times. So you can cover your ears now. So, it's an interesting time, but, not every player, not every team gets every single player.
Right. So the one part that I had heard from the local market too, and listen, Kyle Connor has been pretty vocal about adding at this deadline. Some of your fans too have said the same. Are you worried that this deadline might not be enough for them?
No, I think, again, I think we did add. I think we added, the pieces that we, need. Like this group here, again, when they played the structured hockey that Bones has brought in, I think, you've gotten to see what this group is. We've been building this group for a while. We traded a couple of draft picks to bring in Brendan Dillon and, Nate Schmidt. We drafted, the guys that are here, for the most part. And again, I think it's been, or we've had to trade for some guys, that have been here. But again, we offered, we gave an opportunity here to, I think, address some holes that, that we had, and I'm excited about it.
Listen, Kevin, you've always been generous with your time going back to our podcast. I really appreciate you doing this on such a busy day.
Thanks so much. Appreciate it, guys.
Anytime. There is Kevin Cheveldayoff, the Executive Vice President and General Manager of the Winnipeg Jets.